Hello. Today is April 17th, 2024, and I'm Jason Shapiro with Crowded Market Report, and this is my thoughts on today's markets. Little volatility out there. I hate to sound like a broken record, but again, I just don't think that this was a good day for the stock market because again, we tried to rally early and, we completely failed. And it was led down by the NASDAQ, which is something I've been talking about for the last week or so, how important that can be. Now, clearly, there was some news from this ASML, which I guess is some European chip stock or something that was negative. And arguably, that's what led the NASDAQ down. But the bottom line is when the high beta stuff is leading the market down, that's a pretty good signal that you don't want to be buying. And there were some pretty vicious rallies during the day. But the NASDAQ never led in any of it. And so the market really didn't have a lot of punch to the upside. It had some punch, but it didn't have any staying power. And I don't think there's anything necessarily abnormal about the move today, given that. But, what was a little abnormal was that the bonds, got crushed today. The bonds, went straight up today, and they were up right from the get-go. All right. So if people are thinking, hey, this higher rate narrative is what's killing stocks, well, that's not what killed stocks today because bonds went straight up and up more. And then there was a good auction and up more. So that was not what this was about today. And I will speak to that because that narrative, is something that I think is now getting way overdone. Right. And people who got our, Substack newsletter today saw that that's what I was talking about in our newsletter, this past weekend, where, a few months ago, I did do a video saying that I thought that rates were too low. But now I really feel like while they may still be too low, the edge in trying to trade that from here has really gone away because that has entered the mass psychology at this point. So there's really no edge. Doesn't mean the bonds aren't going to go up or down. They clearly are going to do one or the other. But to me, there's no edge left there. So what to do? Well, you just got to keep following the tape. What was interesting today, as well was the energies got crushed. Commodities for the most part got crushed. Now the dollar got crushed, which would be no surprise. And I've been talking about, what I thought yesterday. I was talking a lot about what I thought about the European currencies in particular, and they went up today, but they went up because they should have. There was no surprise there. U.S. yields went down a lot, so the dollar went down. And historically, yields going down and the dollar going down is supposed to be bullish commodities, but that was not the case really today at all. Energy went down. I've been talking about this RBOB as the most crowded energy trade, which is why RBOB went down the most today. Because it's so crowded long and you get a little piece of negative news with like a little negative inventory number today in energy, and that goes down a lot. That's sort of normal. But it speaks to the risk reward of what you want to be long or short. You don't know what the news is going to be, but on a risk reward basis, a piece of bad news is probably going to be a lot worse than a piece of good news is going to be good because the positioning is so extended. Gold went down today with yields down and the dollar down. Now, granted, that correlation has gone away over the last few months. You've seen gold go up as yields have gone up, right? And the dollar's gone up and gold's gone up too. But just something interesting. Silver also, after yesterday's reversal, tried the rally this morning and failed and closed down a little bit today too, which I think is interesting, mostly from the point of view that, again, I don't really think that there's very good risk reward in being long commodities here, in particular metals. And if you are, I think a great hedge to that is to be short the dollar. So those are my thoughts for today. As always, love to hear questions or comments. Sign up for our free Substack if you'd like. Where you can get some extra stuff. Check us out at crowdedmarketreport.com. All right. Thanks. I hope everyone had a good day and we'll talk again tomorrow.